Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today's video, we're going to be looking at the Temple Rift, and I want to break down the Temple Rift teams that we're going to be using for the season. Now, overall, with the Temple Rift, your goal is to get to 300 floors. Once you do hit that 300 floors, there isn't any more loot essentially to get out of the game mode, but you can still compete with it and within really a very high level to get those frames we can look at in just a minute. So looking at the 5-man team, when it comes to the Rift, you do need 5 teams. So team number 1, we are still going to be running the Awakened version of Belinda. And you'll notice in here, we have 4 other support heroes. We have Ivan, we have Jerome, we have Lavatoon, we have Adrian Elise that are going to support the Awakened version of Belinda. Absolutely pivotal. And then, of course, we do have the Trickery chest right in here. That is going to be the Beast. Now, looking at number 2, we are looking at Rem, and we do have the Awakened version of Entendre. Then we have Rimuru in here. We have Mulan, which, of course, super strong when it comes to crowd control. And we are also running Milion in here with our Shumspooter. In team number 3, we are running Shamira with Thorin. Now, a lot of players I know say don't run Thorin just for the fact that he does die during combat, but we're also running Tamaris, Rimuru, and we have Scion right down here as our primary damage dealer. And the Pelican is going to be run with the Beast itself. Now, looking at team number 4, we are running Aurelia with Desira. Desira has immunity. It's pretty broken within the game mode. Then we have Valkyrie, then we have Zora, and we have Liberta to round up team number 4 with our Treat Spectator. And the last one right here is going to run Ulna with Envy. Envy, super broken, still best in slot within a lot of game modes. We have Demia, we have Nox, and then we have Trishia. A lot of players question why we run Trishia. Energy regeneration, which is huge within this team. And we also do have the Owl in here to round out or save all 5 of those teams. Now let's go ahead and hop into the Rift. I want to show you the way we're building this. Now this is over on Reddit. I really did a little bit of research, but looking at the teams that they're using or the teams they really recommend to push a very high level of content. Again, for me, I'm only running 300 floors. I really don't want to go any further. The Fountain of Time, of course, is going to yield you some of the resources that you're going to use right here, which are into the Temporal Beacon. Now you'll notice within the beacon, we focus on Trade Enhancer. For a majority of players, Trade Enhancer is going to be the one and only thing that you build, unless you're putting money into AFK Arena, because they do give you extra essence in here. And as you can see, we built level 1 with Fearsome Alliance, Silent Alliance, and the Unforeseen Power. So all 3 of these are 1. But Trade Enhancer, if you are not buying, if you do not have any additional resources in here, Trade Enhancer is going to be 100% the absolute primary one that you're focusing on. So looking at the Rift itself, now these teams specifically, we're going to hop in here, we're going to build them out. Now I tried the configuration, tried the 1 formation, even tried kind of a 1 team formation. It seemed to be okay, but when I choose the one down here, you can see we have to have 22 hero slots, meaning we'd have to build out each team in here kind of systematically without having enough teams. So this one I am going to build out, and we're going to start out here with Ivan, because we know this is the team that is going to be the Awakened version of Belinda. Then we're going to drop Jerome in here. Jerome as a buffer, guys, it is super broken. Lavatoon, exactly the same. Lavatoon is super effective within this game mode. Adrian Elise, they're running a lot of light bearers together. Now, also remember that Jerome is going to buff up the light bearers themselves. So that is going to be our first 5 team. Now, ultimately, this team is going to run the axe. You can see right at the beginning, you do not have access to the axe, but that's okay. And then we'll move into our second team, which of course is going to start with Remen here. This is what we're going to set it up for right now. Now, looking at this game and looking at this game mode, it is going to be the path of least resistance. When we go through here and we auto this, it is always going to be the path of least resistance, meaning anytime that you can get some of the very easy or some of the very easy kind of walkthrough nodes, if there are a couple nodes where you don't have to really go in here and you don't need to fight anyone, anything that you can skip within the game mode, you're absolutely going to skip. Now, of course, we are starting at the very first level. So you can see combat rating at 762 million versus 20 million. So even here for the auto battle, the way that I set this, we skip the battle animations because it takes a crazy amount of time. Stop after reaching the beckoning place. If you have all the heroes that you need within AFK Arena, if you have the heroes within the team, just keep it going. Stopping when hero dies. This can be imperative when you're looking at keeping some of your stability right up in here. But overall, you can go through and you can just kind of let this run and see how far it's going to go. No change in stability right there. Now, when we look at Divine Seals, it is going to pick, and it picks 1 of each. It doesn't really pick and choose, and that honestly isn't very important when you're looking at just running those first 300 floors. It makes a really big difference when you're going to floors actually like 300 plus. It makes a really big difference to make progression, or really pushing progression based on the relics that you get in there, and of course, or the badges that you get in there. But honestly, going through here, running through 300 floors, we do this every single season, even when we ran a multitude of accounts, even when we ran the free to play accounts. Very, very easy to get through here with the content itself. Now, remember, some of the other things to remember within this game mode itself, the boss fights. So when it specifically comes to these divine seals, every 20 floors you are going to fight a boss. You have to know what boss you're fighting and what hero or what team essentially is going to be fighting that boss itself. There's a lot of players, again, that will auto run this. They will get to a boss. It'll be defeat after defeat after defeat because they do not have the correct team that is in there, resulting in just absolutely killing their stamina in here. And it stings to see, or their stability, because you do have to reset this a multitude of times. And when we start looking at the loot, which we'll look at in just a minute, and we will also look at the frames as well that are available for this season. I do like the frames. This might be the first time ever, and here is our first boss at level 10. But I'm thinking I might go in here and I might try to push a little bit further in here just to try to pick up some of those frames, because it does look really, really cool. So as you can see, we can probably go through with this team and starting to add team 2, team 3. We can probably finish the first 100 floors absolutely easy. And I believe the rift's already been out for about a week. So we got a little bit of a later start than I usually like to get on the rift. But when we go through here, and I want to see, because right here is the loot. When it comes to the Temple Rift and when it comes to loot generation within here, it is insane. It is insane the amount of loot that you get in here. And seeing right here, we can go all the way to floor 140 right now. But the loot that you get out of this game mode is just crazy when it comes to summons, when it comes to tier stones, when it comes to pretty much everything else. Now, in addition, we have two other big parts in here, which are the awards. Looking at the heroes, I would not build any of the heroes and I would not buy any of the heroes, because when we start thinking tier list wise, we have Eugene, we have Hildwyn, both of those we can get out of the store. The rest of the heroes in here are so far removed from the meta, not really very important at all. So my priority number one would be, of course, the Awakened heroes, maxing this, buying this out in the entirety, followed by your time emblems or your Stargazer scrolls, time emblems, Stargazer scrolls, and then all of these down here. So you're going to have the ability to pick up a plethora of time emblems and Stargazer scrolls between all of these game modes. And then anything else I actually drop into my elemental cores. But again, the heroes I would not recommend. Now, when we start looking at the leaderboard, this is where the rewards come in, and this is where the frames come in. So right here is the Decayed Dreams frames. Then you get the silver one. This one is bronze. This one is silver. And then when you look at this one, this is the gold one, which is very, very cool looking. Like I said, if you want to land in gold, top 100 within the Rift. And you can see, guys, that they are just absolutely, and these are monster accounts in here. But again, getting into this top 100, even going down here, I'm kind of wondering where combat rating is landing. And I know right now it's just kind of a race to where you finished or where you got to. So even looking here at the top 200, you're looking at, look at this, guys. We're almost 3x, 3.5x where I am for combat rating. That is kind of crazy just based on where they are and where they're building this out. But definitely pushing through the Temple Rift again when it makes, and it does make a really big difference when it comes to loot. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.